Gao Changkong is suspicious. He may be the undercover agent of Eclipse Moon. Zhang Yi directly called Gao Changkong by his name, not his code name. As soon as Zhang Yi said this, Zhu Zheng's eyes directly widened. Are you saying that Gao Changkong, the captain of our investigation team, is an undercover agent for Eclipse Moon? His eyebrows knitted together. This news sounded too incredible to be true. What was the status of the captain of the investigation team? In Blizzard City, he was second only to a few high-ranking officials. And Eclipse Moon was just a small Ronin organization in Neon. What reason did he have to betray us? Zhang Yi calmly said, the iron rule of the investigation team is the concept of time. There's only one reason for being so late after the agreed half an hour: they are colluding with Eclipse Moon and hope we die. Zhang Yi was not sure if Gao Changkong had really betrayed them. This was just a guess. But one thing was certain: Gao Changkong hoped Zhang Yi would die. So he did not mind throwing some mud at Gao Changkong. Zhu Jing said calmly, we will investigate. I will contact the reincarnation squad immediately. Zhang Yi, now the enemy only has one remaining enemy, Phoenix Ren. As long as he is killed, the mission will be completed. Remember this at all costs. Zhang Yi closed the communication, and a mocking smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. At all costs, at anyone's cost? It won't be mine anyway. Phoenix Ren searched the battlefield for Zhang Yi's figure. He knew he had to kill Zhang Yi. However, there were too many members of the Tengu squad around, and Zhang Yi had disappeared without a trace. Die, 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 all of you. Phoenix Ren moved through the battlefield. He was too fast and too powerful. The earth turned black wherever the red phoenix flames swept. Heh! A swift hand stroke, and the sniper Qi Guangming's body was slashed in half. Nasty fly! He laughed maniacally, and charged at the defenseless Meng Xiu again. Meng Xiu's little face instantly turned pale. At the critical moment, Kanuta returned to the battlefield and forcibly blocked his punch. However, a huge hole was smashed in his body, and the phoenix flames burning his flesh made him wail in pain. Liang Yu and Bai Li Changqing were panting heavily from the fight. Bai Li Changqing had used medicine to forcibly increase his strength, and his body was now collapsing. If they continued fighting, it wouldn't be long before the medicine backfired, and he would die even without Phoenix Ren taking action. As for the other members of the Tengu squad, their situation was even worse. Even Phoenix Ren, in his current form, could kill them as easily as killing chickens. The speed, the power, and the ability to ignore their special abilities with the Crimson Lotus Flame made them deeply feel the fear of the captain-level combat power. Pfft! Lu Yinghao also died, and it was very sudden. He didn't even catch a glimpse of Phoenix Ren's figure before the world in front of his eyes lost its luster. Zhang Yi, get over here! Phoenix Ren roared in the middle of the battlefield. Zhang Yi heard him clearly from a distance, and frowned, but did not rush out. If I go out now, I'll be the one who dies. Zhang Yi had to keep a sufficient distance from him. Have you found the Shrine Maiden? He asked the team members. We've already found her, Captain. Yi He and Xue Miao stood in front of the corpse of Satoru Shimano and looked at Mayumi Takeuchi, who was shivering in the corner of the container. A sneer appeared at the corner of their mouths. Should we kill her? If they killed Mayumi Takeuchi, Phoenix Ren would lose the foresight given by the ability, given by blood. His combat effectiveness would be greatly reduced, and the Tengu squad would then have a chance of victory. Zhang Yi sighed, capture her alive, don't let her die. Yi nodded, understood, Captain. He walked up to the woman who had caused the destruction of the Heavenly God squad, his eyes filled with hatred. He slammed a fist into Mayumi Takeuchi's stomach, and she cramped up like a shrimp, spitting out a large glob of stomach fluid. Damn you, Neon Witch! Yi cursed, then shoved a gun into her mouth to prevent her from talking. Soon after, Yi and Xue Miao captured Mayumi Takeuchi. Yang Xinxin was also brought by Flower to Zhang Yi's side. Captain, what should we do with her? Yi asked, staring at Mayumi Takeuchi. She was thrown on the ground like a potato sack. She's still useful. Zhang Yi stared at the woman on the ground, a relaxed smile curling the corners of his mouth. With her, Phoenix Ren would be easy to deal with. Mayumi Takeuchi was too weak to even muster the strength to speak. She was already frail, how could she possibly withstand a punch from Yi? Xinshin, give her an arrow. Zhang Yi said. Yang Xinshin understood, and the Angel of Desire shot an arrow of Cupid's arrow at her. This made the woman her slave. Now, tell me everything you know about Phoenix Ren. What exactly do I have to do to kill him? Yang Xinshin leaned down and looked at Mayumi Takeuchi. A pink mist rose in Mayumi Takeuchi's eyes. In her eyes, Yang Xinshin became the only person in the world she could trust and rely on. She would even give up her life for her. He cannot be killed. Even if there's only a drop of blood, he can regenerate. To kill him, you have to drain all of his origin. But it would take at least 10,000 deaths to do so. This statement silenced everyone. Kill Phoenix Ren 10,000 times? Zhang Yi's space ability was currently unable to be used, and no one else could kill Phoenix Ren even once. Besides this, is there any other way? Yang Xinshin asked calmly. Yes. Let him destroy himself, Mayumi Takeuchi said seriously. The only one who can destroy him is himself. Fatty Su furiously pulled his hair. Isn't this nonsense? He's not out of his mind, why would he do that? Zhang Yi slowly got up, he threw away the cigarette butt in his hand and stamped it out. I understand. Let's do it this way. The crowd looked at Zhang Yi in surprise. Captain, do you have an idea? More or less, it's worth a try. Zhang Yi looked at Mayumi Takeuchi and smiled. If we can control her, we'll win half the battle. In the middle of the battlefield, Phoenix Ren was putting the Tengu squad under immense pressure. In the blink of an eye, he had killed 2 people. If it wasn't for Bai Li Changqing and Liang Yu blocking his way with their lives, none of the others would have been able to survive his attack. But in the next instant, Phoenix Ren suddenly felt a marked change in his vision. Something had been stripped away from his body. He froze for a moment before realizing that he could no longer see the future. Huh? What's going on? Why can't I read the direction of their attacks? It seems that I've forgotten something very important. Phoenix Ren pondered for a long time before he realized what he had forgotten. He had a partner before, whose name seemed to be Takeuchi. Mayumi? Phoenix Ren. A somewhat familiar voice came from the air, attracting Phoenix Ren's attention. He looked up and saw a face he hated. Zhang Yi. Phoenix Ren's expression became hideous, and he let out a roar as he looked up at the sky. Then he bent slightly, gathered his strength, and soared up like a cannonball. Zhang Yi quickly dodged in the air with his flying device. Then he raised the thunderstrike in his hand and aimed at Phoenix Ren. Do you think you can kill me with this? Phoenix Ren sneered, as Zhang Yi's bullets could not catch up to his movements. After landing, he got up again to kill Zhang Yi. However, a deafening gunshot swept through the air, and Phoenix Ren's body was pierced by a huge force, and he fell to the ground. Before he died, he still couldn't figure out how Zhang Yi had managed to hit him. Zhang Yi stood in the air, with streaks of blood running across his body. Mayumi Takeuchi's special ability given by blood was now active in his body. He could see 5 seconds into the future of Phoenix Ren, and could therefore judge his movements in advance and attack. Phoenix Ren was dead, and his body was burning rapidly, preparing for the next resurrection. The members of the Tengu squad seized the opportunity to quickly rush forward, and then took out a special jet gun from their bodies. Streaks of white smoke began to jet at his corpse. It was liquid nitrogen, which could quickly reduce the temperature to more than -100 degrees Celsius and even freeze cells. This was the method the Tengu squad had come up with to deal with Phoenix Ren. By freezing his cells, they might be able to keep him on the border between life and death, unable to come back to life. Under the cooling effect of the large amount of liquid nitrogen, Phoenix Ren's body was frozen into a white ice sculpture. It's okay, just do it a few more times. Zhang Yi was not at all panicked.